All right, all right, all right. Yeah, what is up, everyone? This is your girl, Miss Sophia the Diva. I know I am a little late on doing my reviews, but for some reason this week I just could not get my get up and go to go. But either way, I'm here. And before I get started, y'all, I wanted to try this. Okay. So I was in the grocery store. You know how Lay's, or Frito-Lay rather, the company every year allows people to make put their best flavors together for their chips. So I'm gonna try this one real quick. Okay, we're gonna try this on camera. Hopefully I don't die. There's a few others I've tried, but let's see, because the lady at the store was like, well, if you come back in and out here, let me know how it is. I was like, girl, you work at the store, don't you get a discount? It ain't Tony Snatchers, that's for sure. It's not spicy, but it's not bad, but I'm not getting anything out of it. I mean, I even have a cup of milk on deck in case it's too spicy. In case y'all didn't know. Don't be drinking no water if you're eating hot, spicy stuff. You need to have you some beer on deck or a cup of milk. And since I don't like the taste of beer, I keep milk on deck. But, so anyways, Lay's, it was okay. It's not bad. It's not like those weird freaky flavors that y'all put together. Like I tried the mozzarella and marinara sauce, ruffled chips. That was okay. I've also tried I forgot what it's called, but either way, somebody was like, I bet it tastes like Old Bay, which is the spicy seasoning for food. But either way, I've wasted enough time, and pretty much this, well, we here talk about Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 3 Reunion Part 1, and that's pretty much how I felt about this reunion. The first part, it was all over the damn place. So, of course, this review is going to be all over the damn place. And honestly, it didn't give us much. It really gave us two things. Number one, the clarification on Robyn's anger and frustration with Monique. And also gave us a reason to start thinking and being more forgiving about people's behaviors when we realize that they have life struggles. And that would be dealing with Karen Huger and the loss of her parents. As you know, I believe I talked about this on one of our videos where I stated that Karen had lost her mother in November of 2017 and then turn around right before the reunion and her father passes away. As you know, both of her parents suffered from Alzheimer's and dementia, all debilitating diseases, and there is nothing worse than watching your loved one wither away mentally and physically. So that was really a touching moment. But let's dive right in. The fashions left much to be desired. I didn't care for what anyone had on except for Karen. Karen looked like she was the belle of the ball. But everyone else, I just felt like the outfits fell flat. I mean, Candiace, yellow is a good color on you. That's for sure. And Gizelle, I appreciate you repping in the green, but that dress looked so cheap. It really did. I don't remember what Robyn and Ashley had on, so that should tell you that much. Monique, her dress left much to be desired too. So I'm not going to go into it too much because it's a wash. It really is. I mean, it wasn't, it didn't give me life. Next time, y'all need to call on this new dude in town, this new fashion guru in town, Stylist Bolin. He'll have all of y'all looking good, okay? Call him. Or you can call me. I could hook you up with some formal fashions, although I've been told that sometimes some of my fashions just aren't in line with it. But you got to realize I'm a corporate girl. I'm conservative. So for those who are challenged in their corporate wardrobes, I can help you, and also formal wear, because I attend enough events living in a corporate world to help you out. So you can always hit my inbox. I can help you out. I do virtual consultations as well. So when we get into it, I don't remember, what it is. I started from the back end, so give me just a second. Let me scroll down. By the way, over the weekend, that weekend before the premiere, Candiace and Chris tied the knot, so they are officially Mr. and Mrs. Bassett, and they are well on their way. Based upon the pictures that I saw, it did appear that the entire cast was there. As you know, in the blogs, Gizelle noted that I've been invited to the wedding after all. Of course she was. If it's for the show, the cast has to be there. So Candiace kind of didn't have a choice in that matter. But anyways, it's supposed to be part of season 4. So I guess Candiace made the cut for season 4. So we learned that Ashley has just turned 30. And my question now is, will there be a divorce or a baby? Was that before or after that nice trip you took in the middle of nowhere to detox and be alcohol free and get your chakras in line and together? So I'm curious to see how that's gonna go. I really am, because I'm like, honey, what's happening here? What's going on? We learned during this reunion time that Karen has been hiding her real life because I guess it's not as classy as being the grand dame after all, okay? There was discussion about Monique and her drunk driving. There was Cabernet versus Coronas. Well, Andy was shady with, basically he was saying, Ashley, there's really no room for you to talk about what Monique does, because every time we see you, you have a Corona in hand. And so Ashley's like, well, that might be true. Okay, I own that. Yes, give me more. My question became, because it comes out that she had a miscarriage. Everyone watched the season. They know losing a baby, no matter what stage of the pregnancy it is in, can be devastating. Okay, so the whole justification for Monique and her drinking was the fact that it was a girls' weekend. I wanted to let my hair down. I was kid-free, husband-free. It was just going to be for a good time. But when you have an accident following leaving the bar after having X amount of drinks, the bottom line is this, people. Buzz driving is drunk driving. If you get pulled over and you have to blow into that breathalyzer, you better pray to God that you fall below the legal limit. Everyone is affected differently by what they drink. Me personally, I'm a lightweight. At a minimum, I can only do 1 to 2 drinks. And last night I had something where I was like, whoa, we have to just sit here and let me sober up, because otherwise I'm gonna have to call an Uber, and I really don't want to leave my car. Yeah, I just had 1 drink and it was called a bourbon smash. I definitely will be hitting that spot again, because I was like, for $8, this is a good ass drink. Okay, I wondered though, did that change the women's perspective? And someone on Twitter responded, absolutely not. But I'm like, it kind of has been known that Monique is kind of a little lush. If we follow her through the 2 seasons she's been on here, she's kind of been a lush. Then I guess at some point Monique was going on about how she wouldn't want to assassinate someone's character in such a manner like Ashley did. And Gizelle was like, you wouldn't do what? And Gizelle was like, oh, okay, we'll come back to that. Then we got on Not for Lazy Moms. Here's the deal with Not for Lazy Moms, and I've said it again and I'll say it before. If you have to explain and justify your branding, Monique, it may be in your best interest to rethink it. Not for Lazy Moms is off-putting, but okay, good luck with that, girl. And I'm glad that the other moms chimed in and said it kind of makes it seem like you're saying all the moms who are not lazy, you know, what are you trying to say? And Robyn had a good point. I'm sorry, some people didn't think so, but I'm like, I think it's a good point. So what are you saying? If we don't rub essential oils on our children's heads and feet, that makes us a lazy parent for using Western medicine? So I don't know. I honestly think you should rethink the branding. Karen also says she would never be alone with Ashley because I'm like, she said it best. Ashley be stirring the shit pot every opportunity she gets. That's what she's doing. So I just think that it's best that, everyone stays separate and compartmentalized. Like, don't feel alone. Remember season 1 when they went to the beach house that Ashley and her husband have, and how they rode together down in a Porsche, and how Ashley was going to try to befriend Karen's daughter. And Karen was like, hell no, absolutely not. No. I was like, oh my God. We have Candiace in the hot seat, and we see these flashbacks that are so shady because she kept trying to justify who she was, and I'm just like, girl, when you came on the scene, all you did was brag about who you were, what you were, you being in this off-brand pageant that no one's ever heard of. Even Andy said, me personally, I never heard of it until you came on the show. I mean, at the end of the day, Candiace, you only gave us brag. You also shared more than what you should have about your fiance, now husband's penis. So we really didn't need to know that it was brown. I mean, anybody can look at some porn or something and see that some white men do have brown penises. Then she was trying to justify why she so badly needed to get off her chest what had happened between her and Chris when he called her a spoiled princess. She said that he also said, I ain't shit. I was like, well, and Andy was looking like, so you gonna marry somebody that done told you ain't shit? But I'm like, well, look at how she talked to him, told him he wasn't shit either, and that he was just like his ain't shit father, and who knows how long these verbal joustings go on between them. Either way, if they want to live in this normalized dysfunction, let them, Andy. Let them have it. Speaking of normalized dysfunction, I will be talking about the latest Iyanla Vanzant with Neffy. But let me get back to this review so we can get through this. This is so painful for me. I don't know why I'm struggling to get through reviews this week. Good Lord. Anyway, Andy also stated that she brings up Chris's race all the time in conversations as if it's some sort of defense mechanism. And I feel the same way too, because it's like no one cares if your husband is white. If those people don't understand and want to be around you, that's fine. One of my exes, he absolutely thinks that any of us are wrong for engaging in interracial relationships. Thus, that's why we're not together, because I'm just one of those people that's a little bit more liberated. And of course, he says I'm of the world. And I'm just like, okay, amen. God still loves me regardless. But girl, you love who you love and fuck what anyone else has to say about it or thinks. You know, your family, as long as your inner circle is good with it, that's good. Then her and Ashley got into it. Ashley then called her Pageant Patty with a national off-brand title. She didn't say that, but I said, okay, we can just assume now, or we can summarize that Candiace is Pageant Patty with a national off-brand title. And then Ashley was like, that may be too. While you may have been Miss United States, honey, I was Miss DC and I got to compete for Miss America. Bloop, oh, bloop. Okay, ladies, let's just stop it right here. Let's just get off the bragging train. Because honestly, at the end of the day, with these pageants, I don't watch them anymore. I don't care about Miss America. I don't care about Miss USA. And besides, that ship has sailed for me. I don't get what bikinis have to do with academic success and scholarships, but that's just me. Then Gizelle put on her First Lady hat and she asked Candiace, did she have a relationship with the mother of Chris's children, particularly the younger one? We know that the older one, there are still some complications there. And I think that's good. I think that we should have a cohesive unit as a family, because if the kids know something is off, they know something is off. Parents act like children don't have intuition, like it's not fully developed, but they have the strongest intuition and they always know when something is wrong and not right. Then when they asked her about who was paying for the house, she was like, I don't pay for anything. Okay, well, no, she said her mother doesn't pay for the house. And she was like, okay, well, yeah, my mom does pay for the house. Okay, God. Okay, yes, yes. And Chris pays half, but it's really more like an investment property. And so Ashley gets one more in. She goes, oh, so she's a house daughter. Okay. And I was like, oh my God. I think one of the more funnier things was when Candiace was talking about how Ashley puts her forehead in everybody's business. That was a good clap back. If y'all noticed throughout this reunion, Gizelle and Robyn were speaking for each other. I don't know if y'all noticed that or not. I'm like, they're in sync with one another. And that's what them people hate about them, because at one point during the reunion, Monique was telling, I guess that Robyn is Gizelle's lap dog and she should be sitting on her lap. But I'm like, girl, we saw some things this season where it leads me to believe that you were Charisse's lap dog, okay? You were her step and fetch it, okay? basically you were Sharice's patsy because you were willing to go the distance to onboard Kendall for some get back because Sharice is your girl. My thing is this: leave Gizelle and Robyn alone. They work in tandem. Yes, they kind of come off as like the Raptors in Jurassic Park, where they work together as a tag team, but they have an established history. They've known each other longer than probably than any of the rest of you. And that's just who they are. They have a lot in common. Fathers were active in civil rights and had all this prestige, raised very well. I do think there is something odd about how Gizelle feels like she still has to haze everybody before they really get in good with the group. But I mean, I don't know. We still don't know why Monique and Gizelle really don't like each other. The truth be told, I think it has a lot to do with pedigree. And that's why I was talking about how Robyn and Gizelle have these backgrounds. Is it justified? Hell no. Sometimes you just have to meet people where they are. And if anything, Gizelle should have maybe tried to befriend Monique to try to teach her the ways of not bragging about your wealth off the top, if that's how you saw it. I personally think you asked her about a house. She says, actually, we have 5 houses. So I don't get it. Maybe it was a level of insecurity. But no matter how much money you have, what about your background is what it's looking like for Gizelle. Okay, you rich, but where did you come from? How did you acquire your wealth? Oh, you came from the hood and you married rich. Oh, okay, girl. You just don't need to be part of my purview. So I think that's what's going on there. Then they get on Robyn and they're talking about Robyn and Juan. And she goes, oh my God, yes, we are in a good place. And you know, I just think that Juan and we're going to make it. And so Andy's so shady. He said, it seems like we hear that every season with regards to you guys. Every season. And she was like, well, it really had something more to do with the kids, but now it's really about us. They also talked about the medium and how he could have Googled all that information, but Robyn is steadfast in saying that no, he couldn't have known because we never released the name of this friend that stole or how he died out of respect for the family. And maybe that is true. I mean, is everything known about Juan's mother having died from AIDS? I mean, is that a story that he's had published in his college or pro basketball days? I don't know. I think the medium was sincere. I could be wrong, but either way, Andy, like, he could have just used Google. Help, Lord. Then we got on the subject of the events and Siri and how she told Siri yes and how she told. But here's what I found interesting about Karen's justifications for what she did is that she said, when I was at Gizelle's birthday and, you know, I told you both, yes, I was coming. I was willing to split myself in two to make sure that I got to both of your events. And I'm just like, okay, Grand Dame, because from what I saw and what I recall is that you told Robyn you were going to be at her event. And then Karen also made a good point too, is she said that I was going to come to both, but Robyn, you insisted that I come only to yours. At some point, Gizelle was like, oh, but that event that we were all invited to that event. It wasn't just her event. This wasn't an event special to her. Robyn said that, and I was like, but to her, it was a special event for everyone to attend to watch her be a presenter at this charity ball. In other words, the clarification is this. What Robyn meant to say is that this was not an event she was putting on. This was an event where she was participating, but I was actually doing the whole shebang. Empowering women, which is interesting how you want to empower women but then hate on Monique, but okay. Some kind of way Monique got back on the fact that Gizelle controls Robyn, and I said, well, what about you and Sharice's friendship? We learned a lot about y'all's inner workings during this season, especially in France when you were willing to go the distance with Kendall. Now, the meme thing in this season did not make sense to me because Monique swore up and down it was just a fan page that she did not control. The detail she left out was the fact that we learned here in the reunion, her little brother actually runs the freaking thing. And Andy and everyone else was like, so you didn't think to tell him that these are people I work with and that maybe you shouldn't be posting stuff like that? It got a good key, but please take it down. So that now makes sense why Robyn was so hardcore with Monique about the shit that she was doing. Monique knew her brother was running. She sat up there and lied to the cameras talking about, I don't know what you're talking about. It's a fan page. I can't control what fans do when your fan is actually your brother. Oh my God. And I don't think people really caught that, but I'm like, unless I missed the details during the season, I specifically remember her denying that, and then in the next episode all the family was gathered around and I'm looking at them like, one of y'all is running this damn fan page and y'all trying to sip tea and act like shit ain't happening. Okay, so Robyn was justified. Then they got on the subject of Michael's ding-a-ling, and she said she is scarred for life from seeing it, and then everyone was like, but that didn't look like Michael's body. Like, he's not even made like this. She was like, oh, I saw a different picture and I'm scarred for life. I was like, oh, Jesus. Some kind of way we got on the subject matter of the printed t-shirt and how Gizelle really hasn't been a real friend, how it wasn't necessary for them to stalk her. And then Gizelle was like, well, Karen, I was trying to come and see you by yourself and you told me not to come. She was like, well, if you were really concerned, you would have just came over. And she was like, no. But the whole peanut gallery, they talked about the press conference and the whole peanut gallery thing. And they wanted to know about Karen's situation, her and Ray's situation. She said she was not going to discuss this tax matter. That was for Ray to share. Now, here's the thing, and I said it before in earlier reviews when all of this came out. Ray may have been advised by his attorneys not to share anything with Karen. Spousal privilege does attach in certain matters. I'll have to research more thoroughly what that means. But at the same time, better safe than sorry. Let's not talk about business matters. Number two, I'm sure that Karen's people and Ray's people, attorneys, probably also told her not to discuss business matters at all regarding this whole IRS tax debacle. So that is why Karen was beating around the bush. But here's my thing, is that if Karen would have just been upfront and direct, but Karen feels like, okay, I have to play the duck and dodge, leave a little bit of mystery, keep people guessing and asking what's really going on, when the truth of the matter is I've been advised to keep my trap shut. That's what it should have been. But at the end of the day, the t-shirt, Gizelle, inappropriate. I call foul. There was some bullshit and it was awful and it stank. Okay. It was terrible. It was done in very poor taste. Ethel didn't teach us that, soror. And then I also asked the question last review. Most of these women, Ashley, who spends all of her time in everyone else's business in order to avoid the elephant in her house, the marriage that really is no more, Robyn and Gizelle. If Karen was not on this show, what would your storyline be then? I don't get it. But like Karen said, no one who was on the house hunt bothered to ask, at least not on camera unless they edit it, how were things going with Karen's parents? Not one of them. It was all about the supposed lies and the thrill of the hunt. I think you all should feel like shit. I do. This woman told y'all both of her parents were sick. We did get to see Karen's mother for her 70th something birthday they had for her last season. That was a beautiful thing. And her mother passed on in November. And then right before this taping, she had buried her father on a Thursday, and I think the taping was that weekend or on a weekday or something. I don't know. But everything that happened was in poor taste. But Gizelle claims that she did try to get with Karen. And then Karen was like, you could have just came by. And she said, you've always said don't come by your house unannounced. Thank you. I don't want nobody come by my house unannounced. Unless you know that I'm going through something and that I shouldn't be locking myself up, please invade my privacy. Please. Because you never know what I could be doing to myself. And I'm just saying that in general because I don't have those feelings or thoughts. But I'm just saying, you just go check on your friends, okay? Go check on them. If you know they're going through something, check on them anyway. Stop by. If they don't answer the door and they stop answering phone calls and shit, hell, have a health and wellness check done on them, unless they done left the country or some shit. I don't know. So Karen got very upset, and I felt that. I felt that. Losing a loved one that means so much to you, that hurts. And for people not to be so insensitive and not to care, that hurts. I had something like that happen to me where I lost a friend, and you know, it was kind of just blown off like, why is she crying again? Oh, because of her friend. You know, it's like, it really, you know, if it's not about you, I guess you can't take time out. This individual can't take time out to see others' feelings or empathize, or at least not the people that can't really help them. If you can benefit them, oh, we'll be all up in your face. But if you can't, then yeah. And that's how some people are. They just are. They don't give a damn about you. They just looking for a storyline in their life. And so I was glad to see that Gizelle got off her high horse and went to go check on her friend and told, you know, Karen, that she was crying her little eyes out, that, you know, you're the strongest woman I know. And Karen said something that most Black women today, this is how we feel. Yes, I'm strong, but I'm tired of being strong. I felt that. We all get tired. We do. And it's exhausting. It's taxing on the body. It manifests itself in ways. I mean, I can tell y'all, to be told at 38 you got high blood pressure, you know why? Because I've been strong almost my entire life. You know, you have to do it yourself, Afia. So I understand. You have to get through things yourself. Ain't no help coming for you. You know, you're the strong one. We get tired. The strong women, especially Black women, we get tired because we were talking about that, about how corporate America, and nothing against my white friends, but let's be real, like they said, white woman tears. It works. It works. But let my Black behind sit up there and start crying. She is not going to be eligible for promotions. She's too emotional, and quite frankly, I just don't see it for her. She's not a leader. Anyway, I felt that. Anywho, that's all I've got for this episode of Real Housewives of Potomac. I apologize for this review being all over the place. However, this episode was just all over the place, and I'm like, well, maybe this last part 2 will be more, I don't know, more put together and not so stream of conscience, like, I guess is the phrase that pays. Anyway, I do have Power reviewed. As a matter of fact, I reviewed it Sunday night. I just have not taken time out to edit. Like I said, I don't know what's going on with me, but I'm in kind of a fog, whatever. But that's all I've got for Real Housewives of Potomac Season 3 Reunion Part 1. I will be coming back here later on to talk about the Yana Van Zandt Fix My Life with Neffy and Shelby. If you don't know who Neffy is the sister of Keisha Cole, the singer. But if this is your first time here, please be sure to subscribe to this channel. Comment, share, like, you know. Some of y'all don't like. I think somebody just be not liking my videos. They just don't like me, hater. Either way, it doesn't bother me at all, because you know what? I'm strong. But prayers up for Karen Huger. Also, at the time of making of this, we're sending prayers up for the family and friends and Aretha Franklin. Yes. Auntie Riri ain't doing so good. As a matter of fact, it's been announced that she's in hospice care. So let's pray for her. I say a little prayer for you. I love that song. There's so many Riri songs. I love Auntie Riri. Just send prayers up for them to be strong and to keep her strong. But I don't know. They've never revealed what her illness is. We were speculating back, I think in 2011 or whatever, that she was sick because she came out all skinny. I just said, Riri done went and got fine and had a gastric bypass surgery. Either way, just prayers up for her. Prayers up for Karen Huger and the loss of her parents. Anyways, what she just needs is some understanding, y'all. That's all. She told her story in her own words. So either way, that's all I've got, honey. I have been Miss Sophia the Diva. Thank you for joining